Nice to see everybody. Good morning. I am thrilled to be here with so many of our community partners and our business leaders for this great announcement. I want to welcome Ashley Gardia, who's my senior advisor and director of the Network for Economic Opportunities, Rebecca Conwell, who is the mayor's economic development advisor, Eileen Neely, the director of capital innovation for Living Cities. Eileen, thank you so much for being with us. Flozell Daniels, one of our great partners, the CEO and president of the Foundation for Louisiana. Vaughn Foria, who is the president of NewCorp, Inc. And to my left, Mr. Otis Tucker, one of our business leaders in the city. He's the owner of Trucking Innovations, LLC, and a BuildNOLA grad. So Otis, thank you for being here. It's good to see you. And to our other partners that are with us today, I want to thank you for all the work that you've done. I see Hard Rock Construction's in the house, and I know you guys are the prime on this particular contract. We're here today to really put an exclamation point on what I call the new way in New Orleans. We are, as I have said, not building the city back the way we were, but using all of the opportunities that are in front of us now to build the city that we always wanted to be. And simply stated, that means that we're not going to go forward at all unless we go forward together and make sure that everybody is included. We have come a long way. I think that we can safely say that New Orleans is one of America's great comeback stories. I'm not sure there's another city that's come back as far and as fast as the city of New Orleans had from an unprecedented number of tragedies, from Katrina to Rita to Ike, Gustav, the national recession, the BP oil spill. I mean, we were in it. And now we're getting out of it. And we're getting out of it together. We have together created 15,000 new jobs. You see the reconstruction of our schools that are coming back and the great work that our students are doing. We are in the middle of a massive infrastructure improvement program. We're investing billions of dollars to rebuild the city of New Orleans from top to bottom. And all this means jobs. 27,000 construction jobs are going to be created in this city. And as I have said many, many, many times, it will be the people of the city of New Orleans that rebuild the city of New Orleans. And we have to create pathways for that to happen. We are not going to leave anybody behind, which is why our team spent a lot of time creating our city's economic opportunity strategy. We call it Pathways to Prosperity. It is a specific space that you can walk in to get from where you are to where you need to be, and us providing the tools to help you make that happen. I'm calling everybody in this city into purpose to make sure that we can implement a program that not just rebuilds streets but transforms lives. And we're going to use that to do that so that we can invest in people. Our goal is to connect individuals in the city of New Orleans to jobs and to help disadvantaged businesses, job seekers, and local businesses to get real jobs and real opportunities. And as I said, to actually have a pathway to prosperity, a specific way to get where you need to go. So we put our money where our mouth is. We put our work where our promise is, and we walk the walk. Since 2010, we have implemented a living wage requiring city contractors to pay employees a minimum of $10.55 an hour. We've instituted a local hire policy to make sure that our contractors who have access to these contracts are working hard to hire people that live in the neighborhood that's being rebuilt. We've strengthened all of our DBE requirements, and I want to thank all of our folks in City Hall for all the work that they've done. We have launched Strive NOLA, which if you have not had a chance to come to one of our graduations, you should. Returning citizens, individuals that have not been working for a long period of time, are enrolled in an intensive 4-week training program on soft skills and hard skills to get them ready to take jobs. This has been one of the great, beautiful successes of this administration, and Ashley and our team have done a great job. Over 200 job seekers have graduated, 75% job placement, and a job retention. When we got here, 52% of young African American men were not working. That has now been reduced by 8 percentage points to 44, which means that we're going in the right direction. We're going there fast, and the things that we're trying are working. Over a year ago, we launched BuildNOLA training program, which was designed to train small businesses like the one standing to my left to understand how to take advantage of opportunities. Since that time, we have had 50 firms that have completed the BuildNOLA training program. As a result of these companies, they have won 21 new contracts worth over $3.2 million and have created 27 new jobs. And standing next to me is Mr. Otis Tucker, who's a native. I should call you a homeboy. A homeboy Broadmoor, homeboy Lower 9. He is a native of the Lower Ninth Ward. He is the owner, building generational wealth of Trucking Innovations LLC. He is a subcontractor on this project, right, where the prime is Hard Rock. So Hard Rock, I want to thank you guys for reaching out. And thank you. And to Mr. Tucker, I want to thank you for reaching in and actually having enough faith and confidence in us that we meant what we say. And when you two guys get together, you begin to build generational wealth for the city of New Orleans, and that is really good. But as good as that is, we are in the business of identifying problems and solving problems. And when we went to ask people, what's the problem? Why can't we connect people? What do we need? Contractors told us you don't do stuff fast enough, you don't sign contracts fast enough, you don't pay the bills fast enough. DBE's told us I don't have access, I don't have resources, I don't have training, and by the way, when they're paying the bills slow, I have a hard time making payroll. Find the problem, fix the problem. So I always told you about 5 ways that we're trying to fix some of the problems, which we have successfully done. This is another one. And it is a result of the new way, public-private partnerships. So the Network for Economic Opportunities and the Office of Supplier Diversity have gotten together with our private sector partners. We're going to remove the obstacles that prevent DBE inclusion in local contracting opportunities, increase small business growth, help our citizens create jobs. So what we're going to do today is we are going to create a pilot project, a $1.5 million fund that is designed to help young business leaders manage cash flow and work on the time it takes for subcontractors to receive payment. And we're going to create the BuildNOLA Mobilization Fund. Now, this is not possible without contributions, generous contributions from our private sector partners. So Living Cities Foundation, NewCorp, and the city's Economic Development Office are going to find the resources to put in a pot $1.5 million in this fund. That's our first step to making mobilization funds available to business leaders who are important and need to have that resource in order for them to do what is necessary to work on the job, pay their employees, and again, continue to build generational wealth. Now, this new way is a deliberate approach. We're going to expand our pathways, we're going to build partnerships, and then we're going to have the resources necessary. And everybody's got to take care. Only take out what you need and make sure you put back in when you finish so that the fund stays flush and it pays it forward, not takes out and just goes away for nobody else. This is called lifting everybody up. And if this works, we hope to put together a $10 million fund that will be with us a very, very long period of time, so that the answer going forward is how we make it better for everybody, not how nobody can participate. And so again, there are lots of people in America that are using infrastructure to build the road. We're using infrastructure to build lives and to build communities, to build generational wealth, so that the city of New Orleans will be the model for the rest of America, because that's what we are today. So I thank all of you for everything that you have done. Again, this is not the beginning. It's not the beginning of the middle. It's not the beginning of the end. We got a lot more to do together, and we continue to prove to each other that if we reach out, if we lift each other up, if we find resources, if everybody puts in the pot, if everybody assumes responsibility, if everybody makes sure we do things on time, on task, under budget, you will create a virtuous cycle of success that will be replicated by everybody else in the United States of America, and you will help America find a way to find the greatness in herself, which is what we're all struggling through. And so as the rest of the country is confused about what direction they want to go in, New Orleans is clear about what direction they want to go in. That's up, and everybody going together. So thank you all so much. Ashley Gardia is going to step up now as my Senior Advisor for Economic Opportunity. God bless all of you, and thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, not just for the event today, but for demanding that we build opportunities for all New Orleanians to participate in the city's unprecedented economic growth. As the mayor said, last year we launched BuildNOLA as a small business training program designed to prepare contractors and professional services firms to successfully compete for contracts in the city, both in the public sector and the private sector. You heard the mayor provide the stats for cohorts, 50 graduates, 27 new jobs, over $3 million in new contracts. Wouldn't have been possible without the program, and so I'm so grateful for your leadership and the charge that you've given to us. While we're proud of that success, we knew that that was not enough. For generations, we've been hearing about the challenge of resources and making sure that small contractors have access to resources just like the big guys. And so today's announcement of the BuildNOLA Mobilization Fund is really our effort, a critical next step to closing that gap. I'm going to now apologize for the long list of thank yous that's coming, but I think what you can see from the folks standing behind us is that this work, the hardest work to do, requires a whole lot of partnerships. And so that list begins with Rebecca Conwell, my colleague, Senior Advisor to the Mayor for Economic Development. Rebecca asked the most important question that really got this work started, and it was, what can we do with the limited resources that we have to have the biggest impact and to help grow small businesses? And so I'm grateful to Rebecca and her partnership in really helping us to crack this nut. And then to Courtney Stuckwich, who's on Rebecca's team. She's really served as the project manager and coordinating all of the people that you see standing behind us today. So thank you so much for your leadership, Courtney. Then I need to thank the DBEs and the community advocates like the Collaborative, like the Black Chamber, who have really demanded that we look at the biggest challenges and really walk toward the fire, right? And so I want to thank you guys for that advocacy and really helping us to figure out how to address the financing gaps that not only grow non-DBE firms, but to help limit DBE firms. And so we've seen the gap and are now responding to it. To Living Cities, who is a national champion for solutions that deliver better results faster to low-income people as well as small businesses. Living Cities supports the mayor's entire economic opportunity strategy. And most importantly, I've got to say that they have supported us as we undertook the most challenging pieces of our work, including the local hire policy. To the Foundation for Louisiana, who continues to challenge us to confront inequities in the region, and they invest strategically in the solutions that advance shared prosperity. We are honored to be your grantee. And then to my team, Judith Dangerfield and the entire Office of Supplier Diversity. You all give your all daily to make sure that DBEs are not only participating but growing, and I'm grateful to you. So I'm proud of the strong partnership that we have forged across organizations and across sectors, and I can't wait to see the impact of these resources hit the ground. Thanks.
Yep. Eileen Neely, Director of Capital Innovation, Living Cities. Eileen, thank you.
All right, thank you all. So Living Cities is a 25-year-old collaboration between 18 foundations and financial institutions. We use this collective heft to work with cities and support cities who are intentionally addressing increasing the economic well-being of low-income people living in cities, especially people of color. And we're really proud to be a partner and supporter of New Orleans. The extraordinary efforts here, especially around with the Network for Economic Opportunity, are really making the changes that the mayor highlighted. Decreasing the number of African American men who are not working from 52% to 44% is an amazing achievement, and we are excited to be a partner of that, so congratulations. The work we do with New Orleans, with the Network of Economic Opportunity, is part of a multi-city cohort where we're working with cross-sector partners who are grappling with similar issues. And New Orleans is really a stellar member of that cohort. So in addition to the Network for Economic Opportunity, New Orleans is a steadfast partner of ours in several other of our initiatives. The City Accelerator is a program that here is working on focused on increasing the use of healthcare services through more effective public engagement. The Bloomberg I-Teams are reducing racial disparities through housing, and the city's Office of Performance and Accountability participates in our Project for Municipal Innovation at Harvard University. So all of these pieces are coming together to really address the needs of low-income people. No one effort is sufficient. So now we're really excited to be doubling down on our work in New Orleans. Living Cities is thrilled to be the first investor in the New Orleans Mobilization Fund. For decades, we've heard from small and disadvantaged businesses around the country, not just here in New Orleans, about the challenges in securing financing to gear up for major contracts. And so our initial investment is really the first step in to closing these financing gaps, not only in New Orleans, but nationwide. So New Orleans is a pilot and the rest of the country is watching. So this is just a start. $1.5 million is clearly insufficient to address the financing gaps. But this is a pilot program to make sure that we're doing it right, to not just create solutions that may not be useful to organizations like Otis's. So we're testing and evaluating every step of the way. So how big does the mobilization fund need to be? Do we have the right underwriting criteria to connect people who are generally excluded from the capital markets to project financing? Will the availability of this money increase the ability of DBEs to be prime contractors? And then finally, will capital access for DBE firms create jobs and wealth for disadvantaged workers? And if we find the answers are yes, and even if we find that it's not quite working, we're going to tweak it. We're going to make it work, and we're committed to that, especially with our partners, with Vaughn at NewCorp. We have already learned so much from New Orleans and look forward to the next set of lessons that are going to really be so valuable to the field, to the country as a whole. Local hiring and contracting requirements, paired with the support for local businesses, have become a cornerstone to rebuilding the American economy, one community at a time, and New Orleans is leading the way. So again, we value our partnership with Ashley and the Network for Economic Opportunity, with the mayor, and with the rest of the city, and we can't wait to see the impact of this new fund on not only your local businesses, but local businesses around the country. Thank you.
CEO and President of the Foundation for Louisiana.
Great, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to be brief. Close out with the Foundation for Louisiana. Our mission is to invest in people and practices that work to reduce vulnerability and make communities stronger statewide. And since our founding, right after the days of Hurricane Katrina, as the Louisiana Disaster Recovery Foundation, we've been able to invest in and believe strongly in growing economic opportunity that not only spurs innovation, but that creates shared and expanded opportunity. Achieving equity and excellence for all Louisianans, we know requires effective public policy, systems change, and as per this press conference and this announcement today, access to capital. For 11 years, we've been able to work on the disparities that plague our region and invest in effective solutions to what look like intractable, difficult problems. Access to capital for small businesses has been a generational challenge. We have had the chance to make investments that prove to us when we invest in local people who have local knowledge and local connections and wisdom and experience, they actually not only deliver on the product, but create amazing economic opportunity, much like the mayor said, generationally. We've been honored to participate in the design of this initial pilot and look forward to supporting the fundraising efforts to grow the fund. And we know, as Eileen said, that if we do this well, and we will do it well, it not only will give us a chance to scale this locally, but to do it regionally and statewide, and be able to be a national model for this work. And so I want to join everyone in thanking the mayor for his amazing leadership. These are not challenges that we're just facing post-Katrina. These are challenges that Louisiana and New Orleans has faced for generations. And taking on the tough work of deciding to put our money where our mouth is and to really jump in and roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty, to me is the most exciting part of this work. I want to give a special shout out to Ashley Gardia with the Network for Economic Opportunity and Vaughn Faurier at NewCorp. We have been hands in the mud working on these things, and they have been amazing leaders in the midnight hour often when no one was supportive and looking, and we wouldn't be here today if it weren't for their leadership. So on behalf of the Foundation for Louisiana, we appreciate being a part of this and look forward to the next opportunity. Thank you.
Let's have Vaughn first. Vaughn Curry, President of NewCorp, and then Otis, I'll call you up.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank our Mayor, Mitch Landrieu, for really having an unwavering commitment to the small business community and the disadvantaged business community. Since the inception of Mayor Landrieu's administration, he has dedicated funds specifically designed for the small business community, enabling them through NewCorp to access capital and to access technical assistance. As most of you know, I'm Vaughn Fourier. NewCorp is a community development financial institution that has been serving our community for over 20 years. We have enjoyed a strong partnership with the city, managing the Small Business Assistance Fund for nearly 5 years, thus far deploying over $1.7 million. And this, most importantly, is a revolving loan fund, so it's there in perpetuity. That's really critical. Now in partnership with the city yet again, we are launching the BuildNOLA Mobilization Fund pilot program. Living Cities has enabled NewCorp to borrow the capital we need to adequately capitalize you, the disadvantaged business community. The fund is intended to accelerate business growth and impact positively business operations through capital and technical assistance. We will be accepting applications for the BuildNOLA Mobilization Pilot Program on November the 1st. We are anxiously awaiting for all of the business community to come in and access capital and gain technical assistance and go through BuildNOLA, because it's an amazing journey. Certified DBE firms can apply at NewCorp 2924 St. Bernard Avenue, or you can call us at 504-208-1700, and you talk to Rose Angel. She's an angel. This is a very special opportunity for the disadvantaged businesses of New Orleans in particular. Ideally, all will go well, and perhaps this fund too will become a perpetual fund and last. We'll just add it to the 10 million that Living Cities brings back next time.
All right. Please now welcome the man of the hour, Mr. Otis Tucker, owner of Trucking Innovation and graduate of the BuildNOLA Small Business Training Program.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
And the future of New Orleans, I think.
I want to first thank Mayor Mitch Landrieu, Ms. Ashley Gardia, the Office of Supply and Diversity, and all the people in attendance today. When I first started Trucking Innovation 3.5 years ago, as an owner-operator, I was trying to find ways to scale my company and grow it, either through my own fleet or through the use of owner-operators, like I was. This summer I heard about BuildNOLA through word of mouth, and I joined the organization and learned how technically how to grow my business, and also learn how to market myself to prime contractors like Hard Rock Construction. That's why I'm working today on this job with Chris and the rest of his team on this project for with DPW and all. So for any business owners looking to grow their company, I highly advise them to join BuildNOLA and learn the technical assistance needed to grow your company. I'm also confident that the introduction of this new fund today will help float projects for even more businesses like myself. Thank you.
Well, in case any of you ever doubted whether or not you had the ability to actually make New Orleans a city we always dreamed she should be, everybody standing behind me has been part of this great effort. This is really just simple. Find your neighbor and grab them by the hand and show them the way. That's really all we're doing. And we're using the city of New Orleans as the laboratory for innovation. In other words, if you want my office to help you, if you want the rest of the world to help, think about collaboration, think about inclusion, think about building it from the ground up. We're educating the rest of America about how actually to do this. And so this is a pilot project. It's a pilot on purpose. We want to test it. We want to stress it. We want to make sure that it works. And then when it does, and I'm certain that it will, or if it's not perfectly correct, we will get it that way, we will then be able to provide the fund to do what it is that we say. So in this city, all we're doing is finding a problem and fixing the problem. Find another problem, fix the problem. God knows we have enough of them. But essentially, the city of New Orleans will be strong and America will be strong when we all go together. That's what this is all about, and just not using infrastructure as an end in and of itself, but a means to build generational wealth so that the people of this city will have the opportunity that every other American citizen has. You guys, time and time again, with all the projects that we've outlined today, have found a way in the last couple of years to create a real pathway so that young men like this can actually have an opportunity at the American dream. And I thank you for that. It's proof positive that we are leading the rest of this nation. We have a long way to go. Let's keep going. And as I always say, let's get back to work. God bless you. Thank you so much.